saints living that you never, I never grew up with saints. I mean, they were always 7,000 years behind, you know, I mean, and you know, when she was living, I was like, what, she's gonna be a saint. We've had dynamic leaders, we've had strong leaders.
Yeah, and one who recently died, Mother Angelica.
Right.
Who, yeah, I'm excited, I'm like hoping that, I hope to get to see that during my lifetime. And so, personally, because I would love to just, I would love at one point to go to Rome for the opportunity to see someone be canonized. And, you know, I can't make it out for Blessed Mother Teresa this year, but I'm like, you know what, maybe I can make it out for Mother Angelica, whenever that is. Maybe that'll be my goal to set for her. So, I know that's what I would love to do, so. Oh, and this is interesting, I read this in the book, and I was like, whoa, I did not realize this. A problem of declining birth rates, and, you know, and as people, you know, a lot of times joke, oh, Catholics are only, you know, are told not to use birth control so they can have more Catholics. Well, right now we just need more people, because it's saying, I know this about Western nations having declining birth rate, and I know Japan is seeing this right now, and, you know, they're already in the throes of this, but, you know, the inability to support the aging population, and it said by 2050, 60% of Italians will not have a brother, sister, cousin, aunt, or uncle.
Wow.
I'm just like, what? And this is Italians. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then
You have a lot of dogs.
yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with dogs, but we need people too. My dog's not going to outlive me and take care of me. And in 2004, only 8% of French citizens attended Mass regularly, and nearly 1/3 professed no religion at all. And that just breaks my heart too, because France is such a Catholic country, and some of our great saints are from France, like Saint Therese Lisieux and Saint Joan of Arc, and I'm like, and what's going on? So, but yeah, it was just, wow, so.
Well, it's not only that, the Catholics and other Christian religions are not reproducing enough, but the Muslims are.
Yeah. Yeah, and other people are. So, you know,
by a lot.
And sometimes now I think part of our problem too is not even people not wanting to, people are having infertility problems that were not around before. You know, and sometimes it's just because of delayed marriage, that we're getting married older, so, you know, women are realizing that, oh, it's not that easy necessarily to have babies because I'm older, and
or they're on birth control too long.
right, and or, you know, other issues that have promulgated from this. So it's just, you know, now sometimes it's like people are like, great, I want to do this, and then it's like, oh, I can't. And we need to minister to those people too, though. We need to be mindful of that not everyone who doesn't have a big family, like a shiny example right here, is necessarily because they're not following church teaching, and we need to also be, you know, kind to people who maybe suffered from miscarriages or infertility, and because that's a much bigger problem nowadays than it seems to have used to have been, or at least it's a much more acknowledged problem that we're aware of. And so we need to be, you know, very mindful of that too when we're raising this next generation of, this is what we're called to do, but you know, if you're not called to it, you're not a failure. As, you know, that's okay. That means God has a different mission for you. That means your mission is different. So again, but back to meeting people where they're at, and, you know, having that whole person, not just, okay, you're doing this wrong. You know, we need to be reaching out to people, and also not making necessarily negative assumptions about why certain things are the way they are. You know, why that Catholic family has only, you know, 1 or 2 kids. Right. You know, oh, so they must just not be following church teaching, you know, because we don't know that. So.
Well, I also had just working at work, I would have other women say, well, you don't want to have more than one child, you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's that pressure. Why would you want to have more than 1 kid or 2 kids or just stuff like that?
Oh, people get rude comments. You know, friends with big families get rude comments all the time.
Or even small or, you know, like, why do you want to have, you know, more than one? Or if you can't have any more, but both ways. I would go to work and I'm like, why
is this your business?
Yeah, we should be supporting each other, whether we have several or none or one or for whatever reason. But I'd get that pressure of like, well, you don't want to get pregnant again, you know. That makes it hard for us at work. And I'm like,
okay.
So I'm off for a few weeks, you know.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't a group decision between,
Right.
you know, work and not me. You know, this is kind of my husband and my,
Right.
and
But
our
I was,
family.
yeah,
But unless we start changing our values, it won't change.
Right.
I mean,
Oh, we
everybody
need to be an
wants the
example.
nice car, the nice this, I mean,
Mhm.
you know, we've adopted kids, people have gone to us and said, how did you afford it? I said, well, I don't own a brand new car, I do
Right.
make money and put it there, it's where you put your priorities,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
what you know, my kids don't have their own rooms, they don't
Mhm.
have, you know, and that's okay, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So it's just
actually,
we-
They'll be
better
better-
off.
they'll be better
They'll be
than
better
fine.
off.
So it's just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they're by no means hurting, don't let Kitty.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's, you know, until we say motherhood's a good profession, and we
Mhm.
don't.
Women need to support each other,
They do.
and we just, I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah, we're judging everyone else's decisions, so why are you doing that instead of that, and why, you know, why aren't you doing what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And we gotta
judge
remember
each
everyone
other,
has a
yeah.
different calling. And, you know, and that's another thing about trying to encourage vocations in our children. And I know for some parents that's difficult because, you know, you kinda have that in the head, you're, you
Yeah,
know,
with
your child get
grandkids.
married and grandkids and blah, 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 but we need to remember to encourage vocations and that, you know, our children may be called to that.
Mhm.
You know, and maybe we're not called to be grandparents, you know, many, if that's,
Right.
if, you know, if our kids are called to vocations and to the, you know, whether it's being a priest, mom, nun, sister, whatever, you know, we need to be open to that discussion and tell them, you know, you need to discern that yourself. You know, you don't need to assume that just because, you know, in my head I'm thinking this, that that's what you're called to. And which also growing up as a non-Catholic, you know, that was never a discussion.
You need to worry about it.
Yeah,
You have-
so, but that's something to remember too. And to other, you know, to pray for them and for other young people, you know, if your kids are already older or grown, you know, to continue to pray and encourage other young people that you might have influence over, you know, who you know, and, you know, even just mention the idea to them, because maybe some people, they're just like, oh, I never even thought of it that way, because no one's ever mentioned it, said, you know, hey, have you ever thought about, you know, becoming a priest or becoming a nun? And, oh, no, I hadn't.
Well, several of our newest priests have had a career before they became priests.
Yeah.
The newest ones that
Yeah.
started.
And not that that's a bad thing either, I
Mhm.
think. You know, not everyone's gonna know at 18 that they wanna
Mhm.
do that, so.
And sometimes that's a good thing, they go out and get life experiences, and then
Yeah.
come back and they're,
Yeah, and then
They kinda
realize
understand,
their
yeah.
calling,
Right.
and are more, you know,
well, and they
focused
can
on it.
understand people, they understand what's going, you know,
Yeah.
a little more mature.
And
Not-
then
not
they're
that-
not, you know, also pining what they gave, you know, what could have been, 'cause
Right,
they know what was out
'cause
there
they've already
before.
been there. Yeah, they've already been there, so they know.
So, okay, the conclusion question. Anyone want, what time period interested you most? Ryan? Oh, no? Okay. You didn't have a time period? Okay, mine were usually the ones where, you know, it was all the bad hopes and everything going on, because I really needed more explanation on that for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the times when we're doing fine and doing what we're supposed to be doing, I'm like, okay, I kind of have a good grasp of that, but, you know, it's like, why did everything go into disarray, and why did this all happen, and why, you know, the Protestant Reformation happened, and, you know, those things for me, which, you know, were probably definitely the most interesting, and the ones I definitely really wanted to know the most about before doing the study.
I think the crusade was an interesting period of time too, because men just left their families for years.
Yeah.
And that, think about that, at that time, because the men really were needed to provide food and everything, you know, for their families, so that was quite a thing for the females too.
Yeah.
The
Or having
families
to-
that they left behind.
Yeah, having to take
Were
up
they
the
gonna
slack.
come home, or weren't they gonna come home?
Yeah, and then plus they had to donate money too.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
Right.
a year's worth? So then on top of that,
Yeah, you have donate
took
money,
food
and you
and
get
money
to
away from
Yeah.
the families.
go to
Yep.
war and you might not make it back.
I like that those sections too, because that was one where you're exposed to it in school,
Mm-hmm.
but you never really got the full story.
Mm.
Or
Yeah.
the truth.
And so, right, you didn't really
Yeah.
get the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Then hearing it here, it makes so much more sense. And go, oh, okay.
Right.
And some of the behind the scenes and some of the backstory, like Ann was saying,
Yeah.
how they actually got there and whatnot.
Yeah, and yeah, I think it's interesting too, because a lot of times, in modern day, when we talk about past warfare, you know, we have a hard time wrapping our heads around anything, you know, kind of pre-Civil War. You know, because, you know, those are the kind of things we get taught in school. Okay, yeah, they didn't have air warfare in the Civil War. You know, we can kind of wrap our minds around how it was then, but anything before that, I think we have a hard time understanding. You know, they had to walk to get, you know, they had to carry all their stuff. You know, they didn't just have a gun. You know, they took with them or what they issued to them. You know, and I think that whole, you know, having that explained to us, because it's just so, it's something we don't think about of how that time period actually lived and how this would have affected them in that way.
Mhm.
And so, and I lost my page. Okay. Okay, what time periods would you have liked to have delved deeper into? Was there anything you kind of felt like, oh, I could have really used more time on that? Brian?
Maybe the persecution.
Which one?
The first one.
One thing I would, not so much the specific period,
Mm-hmm.
but we kept touching into Holy Roman Empire,
Mm-hmm.
and I still don't quite
No, which,
grasp the political scene of
Mm-hmm.
where did countries evolve,
Okay, yeah.
Holy Roman Empire evolve, and how did that change over the hundreds of years that we were talking about?
Okay,
And
yeah.
we did get a map or two here or there, but
Yeah.
that was its own theme that could have
Yeah.
that
been
could have been it, yeah.
a topic in itself.
Yeah, and I'd be interested, I kind of want to get the 10-week, 500-year study to kind of see if they delve more into that, because that was one of my things too, is you need more maps, you need more visuals, because, you know, you're telling us all this stuff, but, you know, I'm a more visual learner, and I'm like, I need to see some of this stuff. You know, and occasionally you see one up there, and so I'm hoping with the newer series, you know, it seems to have, I'm gonna watch there's some YouTube videos, just clips of it, and I kind of want to see if they're including more of that kind of thing to kind of explain it to the rest of us who are not, you know,
Right.
historians, who can, you know, don't just know this off the top of the hat.
yeah, because they touch, then they leave, and you're like, wait, so is France and Germany, Italy, wait, are they?
Who did
no.
what?
Yeah, are they part of that? No.
Yeah.
And then, wait, then it's gone, and then now it's this tiny little, you know. So, yeah, we were trying to figure that out.
Well, especially even now, the countries in Europe all change.
Yeah, they keep
You know,
changing.
from 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah,
I
when
mean,
the wall
really,
fell.
yeah.
when the wall
Lithuania's
fell.
gone, and, you know, lots
Yeah.
of them are just.
And Czechoslovakia is 2 countries
Yeah,
now.
Yugoslavia, that's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And as you know, Russia's no longer Russia and all those.
Yeah, and all the countries that developed after the fall of the Soviet Union. Yeah,
Mhm.
which I still don't know all those.
Yeah. And you know, we didn't even talk about how the Pope had a hand in that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think I would have liked it, and I don't know how people wouldn't like this because you don't like homework, but I would have liked to do some of the books that he
Mhm.
recommends if there's not real in depth. with
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Do a smaller period, maybe read outside books, and then you come in with some kind of knowledge
Yeah.
instead of just going, trying to write, catch it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, then you have a little more, I don't know.
Yeah, they have the book list obviously, but
Exactly.
each time you list like 8 or 10 books for
Yes.
each section.
Yeah.
You're like,
Exactly.
And that'd
I
be
don't
like,
have time
yeah.
to read all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree, because you come in and it's just so much knowledge, you're busy trying to write it down,
Mhm.
and you can't, then I'm out, and I go, okay, I can't remember that.
Yeah, because it all leads so much, just the whole modernism of where we are today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you don't realize that we're really coming from a period, I don't know, the modernism period is what's affecting us today.
Yeah.
And all the differences and all, and you just,
Mhm.
I mean, at least for me, I always just think, okay, this is just where we're at, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And then say, well, they were really planted back here.
Right,
And
it's
we're
been
just
going on
seeing-
for the last 200 years, and, yeah, because we're looking at it from where we're at right now, we're not thinking, again, back there.
You know, where was it planted, where were the seeds planted, what was starting it?
Yeah, when did this start, and,
And how history repeats itself.
Yes, that's what I mean, we keep repeating it.
Mhm. We don't learn.
We forget, yeah, we do. Well, even if you read the Old Testament, it's the same way.
Mhm.
We keep
Yep.
beating ourselves, so we're kind of that way. Well, even when the Great War happened, it was called the Great War before World War I. Now, let's never have another World War. Well,
Right.
Yeah,
a
it
few
was less
years
than
down the
10
line,
years later.
yeah, it's again. I mean, it never really stopped. They were just kind of doing it under you know, under the DL, the down low, you know,
Yeah.
kind of scuttling around there doing his thing, and then hallelujah came out. Yep. Yeah, I don't understand that. Why don't we just all stay in our places and
Live happily ever
yeah,
after.
mind our
Figure that out,
business.
so I can get all my family to sit around the table.
Yeah.
Figure that out, you tell me.
I love it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it's just like, oh, I want that, so I'm just gonna start a war there. I want that. Why can't we just mind our business?
Okay, so final question. What role can you play in the continuing story of the church? Yes, Ryan.
Be a priest, religious brother or sister.
There you go.
But can you play a role even if you're not one of those?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're all called to be saints.
Right.
And no matter where we're at in life, you know, for a lay person or a clergy, you know, that is still ultimately our role wherever we're at, so.
Lead
You're
by
young,
example. Lead by example.
Yeah.
Lead by example. You don't have to go say, I'm a Catholic,
Mhm.
but if you act nicely and
Mhm.
kindly to people, they'll say, oh, he's a Catholic, well, he's really a nice person.
Mhm.
Or if they see you happy or at peace or joyful, like,
Mhm.
how did you get there?
Mm-hmm.
You know. So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
The few, the proud who remain.
Well,
And those who are still watching online.
Yeah. I know that there's
Yay,
some
thank you.
watching on. Yeah. There's some watching online.
Yes, and just conclude with a prayer, final time. Sorry you have me for the secondary, but I'll do my best.
Okay.
Good.
You're good.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. God, thank you again for giving us this time together. Please help us to continue learning and continue growing towards you and closer to you as we continue our faith journeys in our lives. Thank you for this time that we've had over the last 4 or 5 months to study our church's history and to learn more about it and how it affects and how we affect those in the rest of the world around us. Please help us to remember the lessons we learned here and continue to bring them out into the world and to help us all be better disciples of you. And just help us each and every day, Lord, to be conduits of you to all that we meet, whether in person, online, or however that may be. So just thank you once again. And once again, before we go out this final time, the month of May, month of Our Lady, ask for intercession. We say, Hail Mary, full of grace,
the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women,
and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Everyone have a great week.
Thank you.
Too. Thank you so much.
Thanks for helping out.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just make sure that was.
You did great. Thank you.